About pride of country. It should be about love. Remember that to love America is to love all Americans, because love has no labels.
Without.
It's consent.
Because sex without it isn't sex.
It's rape.
It's on us to stop sexual assault.
Learn how and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
Cinderella found the pet that fits her perfectly, and you can too. Share your heart, share your love. Make a shelter pet part of your world. Happily Ever After begins at theshelterpetproject.org.
I see it!
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org.
Hey, did you know that 2.4 million loving cats and dogs in shelters and rescues need our help to find a home? Go to theshelterpetproject.org and search your local shelters and rescues. Go for a cuddle with your next best friend. Adopt.
Good evening. I'm DeJay McClellan.
And I'm Alyssa Sullivan.
And this is the National Rundown. A woman from Alabama joins ISIS. Hoda Muthanna traveled to Syria where she joined ISIS and later married an Islamic State fighter. Muthanna now wishes to return to the United States after claiming to have been brainwashed and manipulated by criminal masterminds. Trump tweets, "I instructed Secretary of State Mike Pompeo, and he fully agrees not to allow Hoda Muthanna back into the country. She is currently staying in a refugee camp near the border of Turkey."
Pope Francis denounces a plague of sex abuse as he continues to push for meaningful change to prevent harm to victims in the future. At a summit in Vatican City that was the first of its kind, the Pope gathered with bishops to address prior abuse scandals that have scarred the Church. Pope Francis pleaded with the clergy members to take these matters seriously and listen to the screams of the little ones asking for justice, as a cardinal fought back tears when recounting the suffering that the institution as a whole has caused so many. Many in the clergy believe it is their duty to protect their people and to remain transparent going forward. Now here's the latest on Empire actor Jussie Smollett.
Chicago's police superintendent shared his personal outrage at evidence Jussie Smollett staged a fake hate crime in a city already dealing with racial tensions.
Empire actor Jussie Smollett took advantage of the pain and anger of racism to promote his career. I'm left hanging my head and asking why. Why would anyone, especially an African-American man, use the symbolism of a noose to make false accusations?
The Empire actor turned himself in overnight, accused of filing a false police report, and was charged with felony disorderly conduct. Police say he hired two men to beat him, splash him with bleach, and put a rope around his neck, and they identified a possible motive.
This stunt was orchestrated by Smollett because he was dissatisfied with his salary.
The 3-week investigation broke open when police questioned two brothers as possible suspects. They became witnesses instead.
The fact that Jussie hired these two guys to stage this for his benefit and then spin this into a criminal investigation put them in a really tough spot as well.
Smollett appeared in court where the judge set bond at $100,000. He has insisted his story was true, but police say it was a publicity stunt that distracted from real crimes with real victims. Kenneth Craig, CBS News.
Coming up, Brianna Benson discusses the U.S. is rushing to transfer sensitive nuclear power technology to Saudi Arabia.
Look at you. You're at the top of your game. You're unstoppable. Nothing can throw you off track. Wait, is that your car? Uh-oh. Yeah, I saw that coming. That will throw you off track. You're looking at around 10 grand in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Let's try this again. Smart move. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Tesla shares fall short after a report that raises consumer questions about its Model 3. According to the report, many of the issues are with the electronics and the multi-purpose navigation screen. Following the report this morning, Tesla shares fell nearly 2%. The electric car company says it will no longer recommend the mid-size sedan because of its reliability issues.
A teacher strike is heating up outside San Francisco. Oakland School District teachers have begun picketing due to the rising prices of living near Silicon Valley, and many are getting priced out of their homes. One major problem, teachers are demanding money from a district that is already broke. The crisis is getting so bad that this district is losing nearly 20% of its teachers every year. And now, here's Brianna bringing us the insight on new congressional reporting involving the U.S. and Saudi Arabia.
Hi, Brianna.
Hello.
Hi, Brianna.
Hello.
What is the Sea Perch and how many teams will be hosted?
Well, you see, it's an innovative underwater robotics program that gives the students and teachers the resources that is needed to build an underwater remotely operated vehicle. So whether it's an in or an out of school setting. So the Henry M. Rowan College of Engineering at Rowan University here will be hosting about 41 teams that consist of middle and high school students.
Wonderful. So what is the educational value of the Sea Perch program?
Well, this program gives students the opportunity to learn about the robotics, math, engineering, and technology. They will also be learning about team building skills such as problem solving, teamwork, and technical applications.
That's great. How will these remotely operated vehicles be built, and how will they be judging the competition?
Well, there's not much detail other than the fact that they will be building just these vehicles from a kit composed of a low cost and easily accessible parts. Now, while also following the curriculum that has a purpose for students to learn about the basic engineering and science concepts with a marine engineering theme, the judges will consist of student volunteers from this university here at Rowan, Navarro's Lakehurst engineers, Navier's Lakehurst engineers, and Navy recruiting district officers.
Wonderful. Thank you, Brianna. Coming up, we will head over to Olivia Fasano for some new information on Uber boats and some more on news around the world.
Open up your books to page 360.
Did you just look at your phone while you was in class? You played yourself.
Talking about inspirational quotes.
You gotta believe in yourself. Don't ever play yourself. The key is to make it, so make it.
Louise, can you give me an example of an inspirational quote?
Don't play yourself. The key is to make it.
And who said that?
I did. Now that's a major key alert.
Learn the real major keys to getting to college at getschool.com.
Listen to me. I am captain of the track team. And if I'm late,
She doesn't really think she's going to get out of here, does she?
Be nice. She's new. Hello, is anyone there? Ugh!
Wow. Even from our standards, you look awful.
Oh, sweetie, what happened? Me? My friend Becky got to talk to this super cute boy, and I tried to act like I wasn't jealous, but I so totally was. And then out of nowhere, this concrete barrier just popped up. Maybe it was a semi.
You mean you were driving?
Yeah. I mean, I know the whole eyes on the road thing, but this was a super important text. Maybe you have to know, Becky.
Texting? Great.
But it was only like 5 seconds, and I'm a really, really fast texter, so it wasn't even a big deal. Actually, has she texted me back yet? Wow, I get like no bars in this place. I wonder if they have Wi-Fi here.
Apple and Goldman Sachs are launching a joint credit card. The new credit card will integrate with the iPhone and Apple Wallet app to offer exclusive features like the ability to track purchase rewards and set spending goals.
Here's Bobby Deptford bringing you the latest in Kardashian news and important entertainment.
Chanel owner Karl Lagerfeld has left a lasting impact on the fashion world, and many people are mourning the loss of the iconic designer. Lagerfeld's cat, Choupette, coined as his Harris, will inherit the fortune, which is set at an estimated $195 million. Once again, Tristan Thompson of the Cleveland Cavaliers has cheated on Khloe Kardashian, this time with a close family friend. Jordan Woods, Kylie's best friend, was caught with Thompson at a house party last Sunday, and the two have officially called it quits. With the Oscars rapidly approaching, it is still unsure who's hosting them this year. There have been several speculations, including Whoopi Goldberg, but we will know for sure this Sunday when the award ceremony is set to begin. That's all for entertainment. Now back to the desk.
Thank you, Bobby. Now let's go over to Olivia Fasano to give us an update on the news around the world.
Uber is taking it to the next level in Mumbai, India. Being that India has some of the most congested and high-traffic areas in the world, Uber has expanded their rideshare services to Uber boat services. These boats will cost 5,700 rupees or $80 for a 6 or 8-seater boat. Larger boats that can fit up to 10 people will cost about 9,500 rupees or $132. In France, several nuns are coming forward about 15 years of ongoing sexual abuse that they faced by Father Marie-Dominique Philippe, founder of the community of St. John. He passed away about 7 years ago in 2013. Lucy, a pseudonym used to protect her identity, was among one of the victims, who said that her alleged abuser misused his position of authority. It is now the Vatican's responsibility to look into these complaints, and a legal proceeding is ongoing, the spokesman said. There is a growing threat between Taiwan and China. Taiwan President Tsai Ing-wen issued a warning for Asia in the face of aggression with Beijing. For 7 decades, there has been uneasy truce between the two since their civil war that ended in 1949. President Ing-wen is focused on building a stronger military in the face of an imbalanced war, as China's military is becoming more modernized and their threats are becoming stronger.
Coming up with Iridian, we'll be talking about Manny Machado's 10-year contract with San Diego Padres and Colin Kaepernick and Eric Reid's settlement with the NFL.
And I can't change, even if I tried, even if I wanted to. My love, my love, my love, she keeps me warm. 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 She keeps me warm.
We are neighbors and best friends.
I love my sister.
My heart doesn't see race. Love is love.
Our family is no less than any other family.
Tim Boeheim, the Syracuse University basketball coach, struck and killed a pedestrian. According to the police, the victim was 51-year-old Jorge Jimenez. This incident happened Wednesday night on Interstate 690. Jimenez was in a car accident moments before and was standing along the interstate. Boeheim struck Jimenez as he stood on the side of the road. Boeheim passed an alcohol test and cooperated with investigators at the scene. Up next, we head over to Iridian Gonzalez as she keeps us updated on Colin Kaepernick, as well as more of this week's sports news.
Thanks, guys. It's a deal. Manny Machado signed a 10-year contract with the San Diego Padres for $300 million. This contract might have surprised many people on Tuesday because the San Diego Padres reached a record-setting agreement. Machado now holds the largest free agent deal in history, surpassing Alex Rodriguez's 10-year contract for $275 million with the Yankees in 2007. Congrats, Machado, well-deserved. Now, in NFL news, Colin Kaepernick and Eric Reid have reached a settlement with the NFL. Reid signed a 3-year contract with the Panthers last week. Lawyer Mark Geragos predicts that within 2 weeks, we can see Kaepernick signing a contract. Geragos predicts the Patriots as one of the possible landing spots. Kaepernick hasn't played in the NFL since the 2016 season after he opted out of his contract with the 49ers. Best wishes to Kaepernick. Back to you at the desk.
Thank you, Iridian. And now we have Jordan with this crazy weather.
I'm Jordan Coupe here with this evening's weather forecast. We had a beautiful day. It was a high of 52, but tonight it is going to be partly cloudy with a low of 32. Now for this week's 5-day weather forecast. Friday, it'll be a high of 44, a low of 30, and it will be cloudy. So that sunshine is going away for a little while. On Saturday, we have a high of 45 and a low of 40, and we get some rain showers that will move into Sunday. I hope you all enjoyed this gorgeous day that we had today, because this next week is full of a lot of cold weather and rain. Make sure that your jackets and umbrellas are back out of the closet. Back to you guys at the desk.
Coming up, the new service being offered at the Wellness Center here at Rowan, and a look into Rowan sports.
Hey, it's Ava, and this is Tess from Vivo's Do It Yourselfie, where we recreate the hottest looks from today's biggest music videos.
After cleaning out our closet, we have a lot of clothes we don't wear anymore.
Like this old t-shirt.
It's not garbage, it's actually a brand new rug.
And to make it, all you need to do is cut, tie, and glue.
Cut the t-shirt into strips.
Tie the strips into knots.
And glue the knots to the bath mat. I love it. Give your garbage another life.
And recycle.
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made this vacation happen.
Double points with every purchase?
Cleverly merging promotions.
Love it.
Cross-referencing travel sites. And booking all your flights with those...
vouchers. I got us bumped.
They were like, oh. But now they're like... Aloha. You aced this vacation. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
Got a quarter?
And now let's get started with some news that's important to all of us here at Rowan. Indiana State Police arrest Temple Jordan, a former Rowan Assistant Director of Mentoring and Inclusion Programs. She led a chase that lasted just shy of 20 miles. Jordan of Berlin, New Jersey, was traveling at 100 miles per hour, and despite troopers' efforts to flag down the vehicle, she would not stop, yet gave a trooper a smile. One trooper was eventually able to stop the chase, and Jordan was booked into Elkhart County Jail on a preliminary felony charge of resisting law enforcement. She was also given a ticket for speeding with a suspended license.
Feeling sick? Now at the Wellness Center on campus, there is a nurse health line 24/7. Your call will be answered by Citra, a partner with Aetna Student Health. All calls are free and available to all Rowan students. There is no calls for this service. The nurses also cannot diagnose or prescribe medication. Dial 856-256-4333 and press 4 to speak with the nurse. The Student Government Association is hosting a housing fair Monday, February 25th in the Student Center, ballroom 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. All are welcome to join and learn about the options for an on and off campus housing. The SGA is offering giveaways, food, raffles, and more. SGA is giving free food more to those who attend. Come and join Ra at the Classic Coffee House at the Student Center Pit tonight at 9 p.m. to 1 a.m. for an open mic night and spoken word. Enjoy delicious treats while listening to creative works of the Asia Project. Also, those who are interested can also showcase their talent after the performance.
Coming up, Brianna tells us all about the Rowan Sea Perch Engineering Competition held this week. Hi, Brianna.
Hey there.
So actually, we're going to talk to you a little bit about some things from our national segment. What are the U.S. lawmakers saying about the Saudi Arabia wanting to access nuclear technology?
Well, for one, they are very critical of the plan, for they believe it would be a violation of U.S. laws guarding against the transfer of nuclear technology that may be used to support weapons programs. So they also think allowing Saudi Arabia to have access to nuclear technology would spark a dangerous arms race inside of their own region.
Okay. And why does Saudi Arabia say that they want the nuclear power?
Well, they say that they want it because it's in order to diversify its energy sources and help address growing energy needs. So Saudi Arabia does need our approval, however, of this technology. And previous negotiations beforehand, broke down because the Saudi government wouldn't commit to not using the nuclear, they did not commit to using the technology, not for weapons. So the House of Representatives Oversight Committee report notes that the efforts to transfer sensitive U.S. nuclear technology to Saudi Arabia would appear to be ongoing.
So what type of negotiations have been made between Trump and the Middle East on this deal?
Well, Trump met nuclear power developers at the White House on the 12th of this month to discuss the plans in the Middle Eastern nations, and Saudi Arabia included. So Jared Kushner, Trump's son-in-law and the White House advisor, he will be touring the Middle East and this month to talk about the economics of this administration's peace plan.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Brianna.
Welcome.
After the break, we have Jordan with our evening weather and 5-day forecast.
Todd's a great guy. I mean, look at him. What a sweetheart. Attaboy. Wait, Todd, what are you doing? How totally selfish and un-Todd-like of you. Come on, Todd. Come on, man.
Birthday.
There's a lot going on in the entertainment industry right now. Coming up with Bobby will give us the latest.
Rowan After Hours is showing Fantastic Beasts: The Crimes of Grindelwald in the Student Center Ballroom next Tuesday. The movie is free for students and begins at 9:15 p.m. Later tonight, the Student Center Pit is being transformed into a classic coffee shop. Along with coffee, they are also hosting the touring poetry act, The Asia Project, and are allowing students to share their own talents after the act. Rowan is hosting a massive game of bingo in Wilson Hall on Saturday, circulating as #PhilFleeger. The event begins at 9. However, if there are more than 750 students attending by 10 o'clock, the prize pool jumps from just $1,000 to $10,000. So stop by to win various prizes and a chance to win up to 10 grand. That's all for entertainment. Now back to the desk.
Wow, that's wonderful. Thank you, Bobby. Earlier today, I was able to catch up with Rowan students Brian Kane and Anthony Mitchell, and they told me a little bit about their new sports podcast that's gaining traction. Let's take a look at this week's special report. Good evening, everyone. My name is Alyssa Sullivan, and welcome to this week's edition of the Rowan Special Report. Coming up, Iridian Gonzalez gives us an update on the Rowan track and field teams. Stay tuned.
This year, patriotism shouldn't just be about pride of country. It should be about love. Remember that to love America is to love all Americans, because love has no labels.
There's one thing you can never have sex without.
It's consent.
Because sex without it isn't sex.
It's rape.
It's on us to stop sexual assault.
Learn how and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
Cinderella found the pet that fits her perfectly, and you can too. Share your heart, share your love. Make a shelter pet part of your world. Happily Ever After begins at theshelterpetproject.org.
All right, and we're back. We're going to head back on over to our Rowan Special Report and catch up with Brian Kane and Anthony Mitchell as they tell us a little bit about that sports podcast. Good evening, everyone. My name is Alyssa Sullivan, and welcome to this week's edition of the Rowan Special Report as a part of the Rowan Rundown. I'm here with Anthony and Brian from ABP, and they're here because they're running a sports podcast as a part of Rowan, and they are Rowan students. So, Brian, I'm going to start with you. Can you tell us a little bit about how you got started with this and what gave you guys the idea to get started with the podcast?
Me and Anthony have known each other for a few years now. We started in sports broadcasting too. We had an assignment where we had to do a sports talk show for 15 minutes, and it kind of just went from there, and we got our minds together and came together, and we put together an hour-long podcast. So we put out twice a week now.
Awesome. And so which one of you guys kind of decides content? How do you divvy it up, or do you just go with the flow?
We kind of consult each other. Like, we'll shoot each other a text of like what's going on and like major news around sports, and Brian will shoot me a text, be like, hey, we should cover this, or I'll shoot him a text, hey, we should cover this, and then when we get together right before we start recording, we'll have like a list of like a rundown of what we're gonna hit each episode. So that's usually how we decide on what content is gonna be talked about on the podcast.
Right, and so what made you guys decide podcasts? Like, why not vlog, why not video? I know podcasts are becoming much more popular these days.
We just kind of went off that we knew that it was easier to record that way. We didn't have to like set up like video quality or anything like that. All we needed was a mic, and we both had already previously worked on mics, so it was just easy to get the two of them together.
Awesome. And so obviously you have to really fight to get your following on social media and on the internet since it's so popular now. So how do you guys get your following? How do you draw people to listen to you?
Mainly our most recent thing has been through Instagram. We made our own Instagram account. We do have a Facebook and a Twitter as well, but Instagram really seems to be the way that people are interacting with us as like a podcast. We basically posted things on our own personal accounts, which obviously has a lot more followers than an account you just made.
Right.
Just word of mouth, just like, hey, follow the podcast, check it out, and it's actually been really booming. You could say, like, it's surprising to the both of us.
It's been really enjoyable to actually like we have sports minds, so we put out content on there that we think we should put out, like even on our own page. But now we have a place to put the stuff out.
Right. So where can we tell your fans and hopefully future followers to watch you? When can they expect to listen to you? What should we direct them to?
So it's every Monday night and Friday night, 8 o'clock they drop. We record them Monday morning and Friday morning. We put them out on Podbean, Apple Podcast, and SoundCloud are the 3 ways that we're out right now. We're looking to get into more like Spotify and onto Stitcher as well.
Okay, great. And so what can we expect to look forward to in the next couple weeks? Any fun things coming up?
Hopefully Bryce Harper signs with the Phils.
Yeah.
Hopefully big news around Phillies talks. The season's just getting started. Sixers playoff talk. Just raw, genuine content from 2 great sports fans.
And you'll have MLB starting, MLB starting, NHL playoffs, NBA playoffs. A bunch of different things are all going to be coming together at once with the NFL draft and such too.
Wonderful. Well, we were so glad to have you guys here. Thank you so much, Anthony and Brian. Remember, they are from ABP, the new sports podcast from these great students at Rowan. Be sure to check them out. And that's all for tonight's Rowan Special Report. Coming up, Iridian Gonzalez gives us an update on the Rowan track and field teams. Stay tuned.
Rowan's men track and field win their 5th New Jersey Athletic Conference title, their first win being in the 2014-2015 season, breaking TC&J's 17-year streak. Junior Julian Pratt beat his personal and school record in the 60-meter dash with a time of 6.93 seconds, his previous record being 6.95 seconds. The Armory College Last Chance meet is this Friday at 3 p.m. at the Armory Track in New York City, and then the regional championships, which will be the last chance to qualify for nationals. Also, congrats to senior Michelle McQuelly for not only beating her own personal record, but conference record as well at the New Jersey Athletic Conference Championships. McQuelly's personal record being 5.53 meters in the long jump. Rowan's previous record was 5.57 meters, and the conference record was 5.68 meters. Once again, congrats. That's all we have today for Rowan Sports. Back to you guys at the desk.
Next up, let's head over to Jordan Arad Coupe to hear about how the weather keeps playing tricks on us.
I'm Jordan Arad Coupe here with this evening's weather forecast. We had a beautiful day. It was a high of 52, but tonight it is going to be partly cloudy with a low of 32. Now for this week's 5-day weather forecast. Friday, it'll be a high of 44, a low of 30, and it will be cloudy, so that sunshine is going away for a little while. On Saturday, we have a high of 45 and a low of 40, and we get some rain showers that will move into Sunday. Sunday will be warmer with a high of 62 and a low of 33, but those rain showers will be present, scattered throughout the day. On Monday, we have a high of 45, a low of 25, and it will be cloudy. And on Tuesday, that sun will poke out a little bit. It's partly cloudy, but will still be chilly with a high of 42 and a low of 27. Now let's take a look at our weather window. As you can see here, and if you got a chance to walk outside today was a beautiful warm day with some sunshine, but unfortunately it won't be lasting long. What do you guys think of the weather today? Hasn't it been lovely?
It seems like a real tease. It's beautiful, but I fear it will not be staying with us for too long.
No, unfortunately, we have a lot of cloudy and a lot of rain coming. We have one day that hits 62 next week, but other than that, it's going to be mid to low 40s.
That's so unfortunate.
I know. We keep getting these little breaks, but they never last.
Right. Well, hopefully spring is truly around the corner.
Yes, only like 30 days until it's official.
We're waiting for it. Thank you, Jordan. From all of us here at the Rowan Rundown, I am Alyssa Sullivan.
I'm DeJay McClellan.
And we hope you have a wonderful evening.